everybody, welcome to the Flower Patch. My name's Iris Smith, where I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome guys, I hope you had a wonderful day yesterday. My flu virus is on its way out. I feel much better today. I don't feel as drained and lack of energy. I seem to have woken up this morning with, as we say, buzzing. So, that I feel better. I'm glad I'm hopefully getting on the road to recovery, because I don't like being ill. It doesn't stop me working, but unless it's serious. But I just like to, I don't like to get bored. Anyway, today we're doing let's have a look how big it is. It's a 16-inch grapevine wreath. I've squashed it a little bit. Excuse me. Oh, here I go. Squashed it a little bit to make it more of an oval shape. So it's become just over 15. And we're going to do an Easter one. I've had a request, excuse me, for an Easter one. I've got a coffee, guys, just to try and keep my throat from coughing, to soothe it. So I've already attached the Easter bunny. So I didn't waste any time, and all I've done is use my floral wires. I've gone around one area where the ear is, then where the arm is, and then on one of his legs, just so then he's secure from top, middle and bottom. So there's our little bunny rabbit that we're going to use, or I've attached. And again, I've just put a piece of wire over, gone through to the back, twisted it like we do your ribbon, and pushed the wire back in. So that is what I've done. And you see the wire here, but we will cover that when we start placing our picks and foliage or whatever. I'm not doing a bow. Not doing a bow, guys. I did do one, don't like it. I did it, and I sat there and I was trying to, once I attached the bunny rabbit, I'm going to call him Peter Rabbit. So once I attached Peter, I did this bow. I've still got it here. I'll show it you. Don't like it. Don't like it. You know how you get those things? You look at the ribbon together in the reel, and then you think to yourself, yeah, that could look nice. I started, after I finished the bow and I've attached it and everything, I realised I didn't like it. So I scrunched, well, I didn't scrunch it all up. I tried to see what it was like without one of the ribbons in, and don't like it. Sorry guys, it's just not, it's not what I like. I've got 3 different ribbons. I tried to incorporate, obviously, the bunny rabbit ribbon, then a pink gingham pastel and a yellow burlap, and I don't like it. When I tried it against here, it doesn't look right. I think it's maybe the yellow, but I wanted the yellow in, but I know on here it's mainly got blue, pink and white. Hence the reason I chose this one with it in blue, pink and white. I thought I'd put an Easter ribbon in, or, well, it's an all year round one. And I thought, well, we need just a plain bold one instead of another pattern. I did it. Don't like it. Sorry, I'm just having another look to see if I'd like it. Don't like it. I think what I would, so I'm going to push that there. Let me just show it. Under here, I have my seasonal ribbons. Now, I did see this one. It's a 2.5 inch or a 63mm wired Hessian ribbon. And I did see that. And I thought, well, I could. Now, that one, I think I've attached a piece here. Yeah, that one looks much better with the bunny rabbit. So if I do, I may incorporate a bit of this, but as of yet, I'm not planning on putting one in. I may just put a couple, you know, one in a couple of areas, some loops with a small tail ends. If you have this is from another roll. If you have any left and you've got more than one roll of it, of your ribbon, and I mean, this is probably over 1 meter long. So I've got enough to make a, you know, some of a bow here. But if you've got another reel, instead of wasting space, just do what I do. I attached it onto there and just reeled it round, so then I could have a bit of space to put some more ribbon. So let's go through what I've chose. Now I've chose a lot of Easter egg picks. I've had to remind myself I need foliage. So I've gotten out, if I can part them, 3 of our ruscus, Italian ruscus, that I'm considering using as our background foliage. So I've got 3 stems of those. I have got out, I've chosen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think about 6 or 7 grasses that I may incorporate in, and this is more of a limey grass, you know, to just go with that you know, Easter season where it's bright. So I've chosen a bit of limey grass here. I have got out my now then, is it Fortunia? Is it Fortunia or Fortunia? It's not Forsythia. Fortunia. I took a few pieces off and a bunch already, just self-prepared, and I may either cut these down for filler foliage or have a few on the outer side as well as the inner. So I've tried to prepare. I've got about some bunches in here just in case I need more. Now I ordered some flowers and these came as a freebie and I had them delivered this morning. I never ordered these, but eucalyptus, there is 7 single stems. They're still wrapped up. So I thought, let's put them in. I've got lots of this, lots. So I thought, why not? It's a dark one. Let the light green foliage bounce from it. So there's the single stem. They come just like that. Looks like I've got 8. Now I've got out my dusted twined fern, and I may put some of this in for the movement, because you know me guys, I do like movement. I like it. I like to try and as much as possible mimic, you know, how the, you know, true life nature plants sit and how they, you know, that they move and they're not just, you know, stagnant, if that's the right word. I like them to have to be able to move if there's a little bit of a breeze and you can see them move, so they look slightly realistic. Now I've got this left from my sword grass, and I might use this as well. I will use this again, probably maybe because I've got 3 pieces left on the bunch, so I may cut those in half and use as filler foliage, or just use these 3 around Peter Rabbit. We'll see. Now I've got these. These are just twiggy bits. I had lots of these, and I think I'm down to my last couple of bunches. And you just buy them in the bunch, and they are just foliage, wispy foliage with little tiny leaves on, and I love things like this, guys. So I've got those. You may not even see them with all the picks I've got. But I've also got out some of our maidenhair fern as well. Just where you can pull these off of the bunch, and that's what I do with these. Just to they remind me a bit like, I don't know, I can't quite remember. They've got a couple of different resemblances, but I'm going to use these, I think, as well to sort of like place in where the gaps are. Now I've been in my Easter bucket and I've got some leftovers of things. So here's one bunch of leftovers that I spotted. I don't know where them berries have come from. I don't want the berries. I've just got plain Easter eggs on picks just by themselves. Again, I don't know if I'm going to use those or things here. I've got some Easter eggs that I've placed on last year on their own little single pick to dot around the sides. And I found 2 of these in this leftover Easter eggs and that as well. One what's got beads on and some berries. So I found 2 of those as well. Now, I found 4 of these that I probably cut down but never used. So leftovers. So I've cut those off of the main stem. And so I've grabbed the main bunches out. And they're here. So as you can see, that comes from somewhere along here. So I've just cut them down. So, and they have got twigs on, Easter eggs on. So you'd have to have a play with them. They've also got a little wooden chicken on here. And they've got berries and lots of twiggy bits. So I've got those out as well. Because I'm going to use these first before I start a new bunch. And I've also got, I've pulled these out. These are velvet. Some more picks with a few little flowers on. Velvet Easter eggs, aren't they pretty? Again, I love picks where you can just manipulate. So we've got those as well. I'll have to do it properly if I use them. But we've got those. So I can't make my mind up what I'm going to use. So I've just grabbed a lot. I've got more picks, but I just thought I don't want to get them all out. So we've got those as well. Now I've got these. I've only got 2 of these stems left. Now these are, what did they say when I bought them I bought them ages ago. I can't remember. Hanging something or trailing. Oh, let me get this off, guys. Now, it's a very, very long stem. As you can see, the stem just goes on and on. Let's take that piece of plastic off. These are plastic. As you can see, so you can have them like twiggy bits. Again, like, you know, cut them down. Obviously, I wouldn't put all this in the wreath as it is. Cut them down and just have some. They do look like, I'd say lavender. So it's like yellow trailing lavender. They do look like lavender. So I've got these. So I may cut some off just to put a bit of yellow in. I've got out another bunch. They come in a bunch of 6 of daffodils. I thought we could perhaps just put a few daffodils in. We've got to have a bit of floral. Can't just have all eggs. Now I've got these. Now these are, they're like a, I don't know, I can't make my mind up. They're like a rubbery, plasticky touch. And so are these, the little hyacinths. And so are these as well. They're like a rubber texture. It's so weird. I keep playing around with them. I haven't really had these long. I only bought 2 bunches. I wanted to see what they was like. And I like them. So they're very good for outside as well. They, you know, they wouldn't go mouldy if there was any rain or anything because they are rubber and are UV protected. So we've got those. And then I've also, I found 4, well, I say 4, 3 little carrots, what the bunny rabbit's got. and I found one of these. I've got plenty, but I thought a bit of yellow, I might just stick this one somewhere. I've only got the one yellow. So that's what we've got for today. Whether I use it all or not is different. Now, talking about the hyacinths that are rubber, I did purchase the other day when we were on about that, depending on what, you know, materials are, like the I wouldn't use certain materials to go outside. I would use silk to go outside, and obviously plastic. I ordered some plastic tulips a few weeks ago. I've got them here. I can't make my mind up whether I like them, but they would be very, very good for a wreath outside instead of using, you know, your material ones, your silk and things like that. They would be very good. Again, they like the hyacinths in like the rubbery texture, plasticky rubber, so they would be good as well. I don't think I'd use them for an indoor arrangement. They don't look too realistic for my liking. It was just a case of I had to try them, see what they was like. So anyway, we're going to get started. Let's get, you can tell I'm getting better, guys, because I just want to chat. It's been 15 minutes already. So I'm going to bring the camera down. It's very cold again today, raining. I'm going to, if I just pull my sleeve, I may end up standing up, guys. I prefer to stand up. Let me just have a quick drink. I'm going to start with our ruscus. Right. Now, if you really wanted a big wreath, you could leave these in as they are, or you could chop them down and have them. I think I'm going to chop them. So I'm going to go just above there in half. So I've got those. And I'm going to do a crescent wreath today. Let's have a look. So there we have those. So I'm going to start I'm going to manipulate the stem slightly so it spreads out as well, so it fans out and gives more you know, what's the word, guys? Oh gosh, coverage, that's the word. So it comes out a little bit more. So I'm not going to cut the stem. And I'm going to start like here. So I may cut this stem a little because it's a bit too long. Let me stand up. I feel... Now his ears are wired, so you can just move them out of the way. I'm putting quite a bit of glue on the stem. With it being a long stem, I want the glue to be quite far up. If you're using your glue gun, go all the way to the top and then just slide it in so it gives more hold. Sometimes a lot of the time I just do the bottom because I know the glue that I use can be quite strong. It is meant for crafting and glass and things like that, so it will hold. And I'm gonna, let's move his ear out of the way, come around You can if you want to go up here, because once we start placing on the pick, you're going to need some background coverage, so it's, you know, you can't really see much through it. So if you want that, you can do that as well. And just spread it. Let me move things out of the way, guys. I like them not to be in the way. Not because I'm very particular. It's just so you can see, and you've not got any of my elements in the way of what you're watching. Let's put a bit of glue on that stem as well. Or just get your glue gun once you've placed it in, and just put a bit of glue on above. And then we've got this one. And just spread it. So that is our Italian ruscus. I'm just giving them a bit of volume by lifting them. So, we've got that in. Now, do I place in the grass next, with it being quite a big bunch, or thick, or full? Gosh, I'm losing my words today. Let me cut these down off the stem so I can separate them. So we're going to add these in as well for a bit of spiky texture. I'm always going to place one on the ends. Let's get that glue off. So then I'll place one in here. So as you can see, I brought one out from the side as well. Oops. We do like to have a little bit of grass with the bunny rabbit. And then we'll place in one more. on the end here as well. So we've got our grasses in. I've got one here. I'm going to bring one in here because there's one left of these. So I'm going to bring, let me just cut down this stem a little bit more. Coming in from behind the bunny. So and we'll have that there. So there is your Peter Rabbit with around his grass and his ruscus. Now, do I, again, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Place in the twined fern. I can see a few on picks that I've obviously placed on. So let's get those and have a look. Yeah, we're going to add a few of those in. Is there any more? I don't know how many I need. Oh, I've just pulled that one off. So we're going to see and add a few of these in. Again, for the movement. So we'll just cut them down. I know you may be thinking it's a bit too early for Easter arrangements, but in the design world, guys, it's not. As you may well know yourselves, we have to be one step ahead. So just under his body. I've got a couple of spare pieces. Have I pulled that one off somewhere? Going to just bring those there. I've got one here by itself, one leaf, so I'm going to join that up with another one. What I've just placed in, what's by itself really. Just bring this piece here, place it in with that one, and then I've got this one left. What's loose? The rest are all on the bunch. We may as well get them all used. So that's our fern as well. Now, again, what I'm doing, I'm placing in as much foliage as I can to start with. So then that is where, by placing the foliage in, you're creating and you're building your border or the size, your line, and you know the structure of how big you actually want your wreath. And that's why I always, and I was taught you always start from there. Now I'm going to just manipulate these and give them a bend. I don't like them perfectly straight. Again, out in the real world, you don't see floral and foliage that are perfectly straight. So because these are just, I don't know, they must have been a freebie. We'll use them. I didn't order these because I've got lots. So we'll get them in and we'll place them with this. I'm going to place like you see here, one on the middle here, one on the bottom. Then I'll bring one up on top again. I say middle, I mean middle, placing it in the middle on the top of the wreath. Then one on the bottom, under here. Let's push it a little more. And one underneath Peter Rabbit's ear on top of the wreath. And again, things like this you could just add in either for a bit of interest or as well as movement, and you know, different textures from anything else. I've got one left I'm bringing in the centre. Now I don't want this as long, so I'm going to pull off some of the leaves on the bottom. I don't want too long of a piece where it's going to go right over to the other side. So we'll cut the stem down as well. And we're going to place this in here also. Excuse my head. So we've got that there as well. So that's now with the eucalyptus added in. I do have, let me just take one bunch out that I've been pulling at first. I think it's that one. So all I do is just pull, because they're on paperback. Because I want to sort of like make sure we're hiding some of the gaps, because there is gaps. You know, like here. So we're wanting to get those covered. Let's pull a few off. The very thin stems, so if you can't fold over the stems because they're not very long stems, then just place on quite a bit of glue, because of them being quite thin. You don't want them popping, you know, or coming out or sliding out in the wind if there's not enough glue on. Again, bring one on the ends. And these are a rubber texture as well. Let's just bend it slightly and give it a bit of movement. I'm going to bring one under here as well. Just in that space there. so it doesn't look like it's got big gaps. I'm going to want one more, I think. One or two more. So let's pull one or two off, shall I say. There, and then one on the end. I'll place that one there. So that's that in. Again, if I do a bow, I don't think I want to really do it. Anything maybe could be here near the side. Just a couple of loops and then maybe up here as well. We'll see, guys, we'll see. Right, I've got the forsyth here, or fortunia should I say. I'm going to just dot a few of those in as well. And the longer stems. I do like this. So I'm not going to place. You can place if you want as well. If you feel you'd like bigger leaves in. I'm doing it more to the point where I'm placing smaller. Oh, I've dropped one's come off. Smaller leaf size in. Would it be like spring? But if you would rather have something like magnolia leaves in, or hydrangea leaves, which are quite big, or aspidistra, anything like that, you know, there's no wrong way, guys. I think that's about it. I may have to cut off of a new bunch. I think I only want about two more. So let's cut two more off. Don't know where that one's come from. So I'll place one here. Because we'll have to fill in places as well. But this, you know, starts you off, as I said, with your structure, your line. And you can fill in if you see gaps at the end. Now I've got these. I think these are lovely. I'm going to put two either side of the grass. I mean, the stems of again are very thin, but it's a wispy. You tend to get these on your picks, you know, like the spring picks that I pull out where everything's on them. You see these in there as well. I just want some of this movement. Push up Peter Rabbit's body. I may have to go in from this side because I can barely see. Let's see while I'm here if there's anything popped through. I can see. Where's the... just turn that little one over. I won't be able to cut it down. It's one of the thin stems. So I'm just pushing it back in to the wreath. Because I can't get my clippers on. But I don't want it sticking out either anymore. Oh, one here. I can't see anything. Is that one? Oh my goodness. So if you do see and you can't get to clip it, then just what if you can get flat nose pliers and try and bend it over and push it back in. Right, that's come off. So I'm not going to put lots of these. I know I love my wispy and twiggy bits. I think I'm only going to put 3. And I'm just going to go about 1 here, 1 coming out here, and then 1 around here. So that's as much as I'm going to do. Let's just move Peter Rabbit's ear. Again, they're all wired, so you manipulate those for the movement as well. And then we'll start placing in some of our picks with the Easter eggs on. And then we've got the flowers. So then we've got all of it basically in. Right, so we'll leave those as well. Now, those 4 picks that I had loose. 1, 2, 3. Where's the other one? Oh, 4. Now, I'm going to, I can just be careful because I'm very heavy-handed when things get tangled up. Again, they've got twiggy bits in, so if things get caught. So let's just bring, again, play around with it. And I'm thinking we bring 1 here. I'm going to put longer ones on the back. I'm just going to place these first just to see if they look okay. And maybe 1 here. Oh gosh, the swirly bits do wrap around. Maybe 1 here. And do I have 1 coming out from the centre, going in towards the centre, should I say? Now, let me look at some others as well. Where's that one that I got? Why do I feel they're better? I feel they're better because this has got a lot of greenery on, and it seems to be hidden. I'm going to change my mind as of yet, so I'm going to keep these with the bunch so I don't lose them for now. I may incorporate them at a later stage. Who knows, but we'll just place it there. And I've got, where's those other two? Oh, here. I've got those as well. I quite like those. So put all those there. Again, I can't make my mind up. So I like these velvet ones. So let's get another one out. A bag inside of a bag. And let's just open it up. I think these are better. Again, have a play. This is the best part where you can just manipulate it into any position that you'd like. I don't know if that's supposed to go up there. I always say just give it a bit of a light, give it some life, open it up. So if we had one there, I'm just going to place these again. One here. I like these. I'm going to put another one of these velvet ones there, and then I think in between I'm going to place these. I've got two. So let's get another velvet. Do you ever do that when you put your seasonal things away, and when it comes to getting them out again, you actually forget what you've got? Because I don't leave my seasonal things out all year round. Flowers, yeah, but things like picks, Easter, you know, Halloween, Christmas picks and things like that, you know, Christmas ornaments, I do put them all away back in the boxes. I mean, I keep the glittered stuff out, you know, like the gold and the silver, especially on pinks, you know, because you could use them for Mother's Day, anniversaries. So I keep the glitter buckets out. But the baubles, anything, you know, attachments and anything like that, all get put away. So then I'm going to place this one. I'll just pop it through. I'll have that one somewhere like that. I will, you know, weave it within the foliage, and then the smaller ones, these two that I've got, I will place here. So I will do that. I do have this as well, don't I? I could bring that in there as well. So he's got another. But let's get on with this first. So I'm going to, do I leave the stem long and then push it really far in? No, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it down, put quite a bit of glue on. Oh my good gracious me. And then I'm going to just move some of the foliage out the way first before I weave it all in. Let's just separate some. And I'm lifting some up as well because I want them to be seen. Let's cut this one down. I don't know about you guys, but I always keep looking for new cutters. I don't need new cutters. I've got a thing about having new cutters. I don't know what's wrong with me. It must be like an addiction. The other day I was looking and thinking, I'm going to treat myself to an expensive pair of cutters where they have got a life, a guarantee of so many years. Oh gosh, and I saw some. Oh yeah, they're expensive. I thought, oh, I'll wait. You know how you do? And you think, oh, well, I'd rather get some more floral or foliage. I've got cutters, there's nothing wrong with them, but I'll get some more floral and foliage first and do it that way. But, oh, gosh, I think in English money, there was about £70. I mean, gosh, you don't really need to spend that much on them. You can get some fabulous cutters. I mean, these are DeWalt, and they were £25. And I've just heard something scratching on the back. Oh, I can't see anything. Piece of wood, is it that? Could it be that? Could it be that one? I doubt it. Oh, I can see a little bit of a stem. I don't think it's really that. Let's see. You'll find out by rubbing. Oh, it's stopped now. So it must have been that. So let's get this one in. Yeah, I started off with some cutters, what was only, I think, £7 in English money, which is probably about $10, $11. And they were fabulous. So you don't really need to spend a lot of money on them. I just thought to myself, I want to treat myself to an expensive pair, but I've known people who've paid a lot of money for things and they're not as good. And because you can't try them out before you buy, you just have to try and take the word of the seller and that they are good. So we've got now this one here. And again, I'm going to bring some of that wispy foliage in as well. It's like a spring garden sort of effect, with all the wispy grasses and things, I guess. Spring colours anyway. But we've got flowers to place in yet. Now we've got these two, what I've got were slightly bigger. They are eggs on, some of them which are polystyrene or styrofoam eggs. Again, I haven't got any more of these left, so I must have really liked them. Well, I do like them, to use a lot of them up. So I'm going to place this one in. I've just put my hand right in the glue. Let's get it. I can't get it to stop having a glue string. I'm going to place this one. Do I bring it at the back? Oh no, I'm going to do it here. I've got glue. Let me get the glue string off of me. So we've got this one here as well. I want it to have quite a lot of Easter eggs in. And we'll get the other one. And then we'll place that one here, I think, yeah. just do the same. So with the Easter eggs, I'll go one here, and then bring one here. So they're like a zigzag, so they look more balanced than all just being on one side. So there are those. So lots of Easter eggs in with some berries. Excuse me. Just around there. Now, I may bring some, I think I don't want any more of those. I could, do I bring the odd, and bring some out here? I need some around, or do I, with those 4 pieces that I had, do I use those instead? A couple of them, and bring those down here. I may do that, so at least then I can use them. Excuse me. Let's just bring that egg in there. And I may put some single eggs on the outer side. As well. This is just to go right on the edge. I like, you know, as you know, to see pieces on the bottom, you know, right at the ends of the V. Take the twiggy bits. You could put butterflies in this as well, guys. I was considering bringing one here. I want to bring some eggs in the centre. Again, I don't want lots. Where's the other one? That's got a lot of stringy bits. Excuse me. So let's try this one. And I'm going to go in from the back because I've got a better view. That one there. I'll use that one as well. I'm going to just cut the bit of this twiggy bit down. It's a bit too long. So then I've used all these little pieces. That's not really going in there. And we've just brought some of the eggs in the centre as well. So it flows. Right. Now, do I? No, I don't think so. I want to just get some of these eggs in around the edge. Again, it's got lots of Easter eggs in it that I wanted in. And as you see, I'm only placing these on the outer side because the Easter eggs that we've got on here are all on top. So I'm just making it flow by bringing some out on the sides to balance it so it doesn't look empty. That's not one. So we've got those as well, so I don't want no more of those. Oops, I've just dropped an Easter egg. Oh my goodness. Don't know where that's gone. Oh, here. So that's those. Right, I've got 3 carrots. We're going to use those and get those in as well. And I'm going to do these, you know, one at the top, one at the bottom, one in the middle. But I'm going to bring these above. Again, that's just to add in to the Easter. And then I'm going to bring one out from the centre. Like so. So we've added in those. Right, now we're on to our floral, guys. So let's just undo the hyacinths. You know, I don't want too much floral because it's basically based, the theme is around the East, with all the Easter eggs. Oh my gosh, what have they placed around this? A metal clip. I can pull one out and the rest should just, no. There we go. There we go. And again, I'm not, let's have a look as well with the, I don't want to use the rubber. So can I get these out? Just add some in. I think with the hyacinths, I'd rather bring them around here. So let's get one in there. I think I'm just going to use these as like a bit of depth. So I'm trying to pull off this stem. I've done it. I've placed on the pick. I've pulled off the rubber stem because I don't want it to melt. But it's only letting me take the head. It's not bringing the wire from inside with it. So I'm just pulling them off. If I can, that one's glued on really well. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me try 5 to start with. So we'll just put 5 picks on. Right, so that's those done. So I'm going to get this hyacinth in now around here. Let's just open them. Oh, I've just put... Oh my good gracious me, guys. I'm so heavy-handed. I don't think I can get that on. I can't get that on the pick, so I'm going to have to glue this in by itself and have it there. I don't want to throw them. Try to on there. I want to bring one in here, or do I just leave it because it's right underneath? Yeah, let's balance it out here. So there. So now I've just got a few hyacinths in. I have got more if I feel I need more. Now I want to place in our daffodils. Again, you can use tulips. But I just don't want a lot of floral in. I may need to grab some more though, but if I do, I may put in those outdoor plastic ones that I have. And this is just to add in a bit of colour. Let me just do around here because we've got the gaps here. Oops, a daisy. Put some there. Oh, I've got 2 left, do I? Got a feel that they need to be on the ends. There as well. I've got one left here, so I may as well use this one. And place a pick on this. Something bugging me around here. Doesn't seem to be much movement. And that's what's, I think, slightly irritating me. Yeah. So again, I'm going to go from behind. And because I want it in front of all this, I will just go under here and bring that there. And I'll just bend the head a little and just give it that little lift. Right, let me just get those rubbery plastic tulips. I've got green and white and green and just pink. They're very weird. I've only got one bunch of each, but you can see the plastic, and these would be great for outdoors. Yet the leaf is rubber. Now that's very good texture. That I'm not so sure about that. I don't want it to look odd. I would keep the leaf in though. I don't know. Let me now cut this yellow lavender. I'm going to cut the longer pieces first. 2. Let's untangle these as well. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to keep it as full, a long piece like this. I just want this in the background, a bit of yellow. let's see here. So I've just, you won't be able to see it, but it's just got that little hint of it in. It's very long and you can cut it lots or take these off individually and pull them on a pick. But I've got all of that left still, so they are exceptionally long. Let me see about a ribbon or just a loop. Maybe I've got a knife. Somewhere here. No, I don't think so. I don't. If I feel it needs it at a later stage, I will place it in. Now I'm going to cut the swordgrass. Now we need something around here. Again, a lot of this is really wispy. So if you want full leaves in, that's fine. But I wanted it to be all quite wispy and with that spiky sort of texture around it, with everything thin and just lift up the ear on the bunny. There's a piece under, so it doesn't look odd not having anything there. Here, I can't quite put my finger on it. It needs something there. You know how we've got quite a thick Easter egg here? It's just something. I keep going, my eye keeps being drawn to it. So if my eye's drawn to it, then, you know, straight away to me that says so will the customer. You know, a customer will spot it and think something's missing, so then for that reason they may not purchase it. Hence the reason I got the tulips out. But you could place in anything else. I might bring some of these. I don't want everything to look this oval shape, you know, and that's just adding to it. Let me think. Well, give me one moment and look. There we go. Straight away, I looked up. There they were. Not that I knew I wanted these. I just thought I want something bigger. What we're going to spot. Now I've got a couple that's got two heads on. Now do I bring that there? No. So I'm going to bring, and this is going to cover this area that I have keep being drawn to. So because I've got one there, I'm going to place one up here as well. And cut that down a little. And that one there. We've got to have some floral leaves, haven't we, guys? Oops. And bring one going through here. So that's 5. I don't want another one that excuse me. 1, 2. I've got 2 that's got, well, that one's got 3 heads on. I wonder if I could put that on its own pick. Yes, we'll do that. We'll place that one on its own pick. So I've got 2 with double heads. Let me just place that there, guys. So I'm considering, do I bring that down here? This one down here. Again, having double head. And then I've got 3, 4. So 2 heads. So I could bring one on this side, one out on this side, and then I've got 2 left. Do I bring, we've got that one there, one here. I bend that one to go in a little bit more, so it's more central. And then place one here. Just lift it. That's 2. I'm going to do that so then I can use them all up. So let's get these in. So it's just, I think they want to be a bit like that. So let's end them. And I think that will be it, guys. I don't really want to be placing anything else in, because you're not really going to see anything else unless I put something really quite big in. Which I'm not going to, because I wanted all like spring sort of like flowers. The ones that I chose. No, I was hitting a leaf there. We don't want that. Let me put this in before I drop it. Just trying to remind myself where I've placed them. So one here. I should. Oh, it's here. Look. Did I drop one? No. I thought I had dropped one. Right, so I've added the flowers in just to take that area. I'm going to make this one a little bit shorter on the stem. Because I needed something and I didn't want another flower like the tulip was the same shape as the eggs, so nothing would really be noticed or stand out. Let's lift these eggs. If you wanted to add in anything else, you know, that you would like to see, again, if you wanted a ribbon, just place in. I'm not placing any ribbon in. I've come to the conclusion that I quite like it without the ribbon, because I think if I placed in a ribbon, it's going to take it away from what we've done. So if I did place a ribbon, it would have to be a pastel colour, maybe, you know, pink gingham or checkered board, and have something like that placed in. I wouldn't, I think, you know, like the one that I used here, this pink one, maybe something like that, but I don't want it in. I've got this one single berry stem what's doing nothing. I don't know where it's come from. I've not got nothing with that, so I'm going to pop that. Just in here. I can. Don't know where it's come from, so we'll just place that there. So guys, that's all I'm going to do with that today. Again, if I've got different rabbits, guys. I've got the velvet ones, but I do prefer these. It's just so adorable. But again, I'm not going to place anything else in. I think that's more than enough. It's quite busy with everything, with all the picks. And if you want, and you just want to place in all these little wispy bits like I've done, you know, and you don't want any full leaf, then just take into consideration that you may have to place in more elements because they're smaller, you know, in size. They're not very wide to give you that coverage. So you may need to actually place more in. But if you want bigger leaves in, or maybe a bigger Easter eggs or bigger floral, then you will obviously cover more area up. But I wanted it, I like the wispy and the lots of elements to do with it. Oh, I've got to make sure I place this hook in the right position. I don't think I have. So I'm going to just pull it out. I've just seen one stem. Is it just one? Let's have a look. Oh no, two. 2 stems. So let's see, because this is going to be quite heavy on one side, let me pull the camera up, guys. Let's bring it back. Let's watch the cable. Alright, I'm going to bring it here to start with. I'll try and get everything in. It's going to be quite heavy on the one side, you know, the side where all the bunny rabbit is and all the weight. So I've got to try and balance this out by placing the hook where it's not going to tilt it like this. We want it so it's going to hold it up, so it's upright. So I'm going to try here first. That's why this is how I do my hooks, so they can be moved around. If you know, some people just put wire in the back, but I always think, well, if it's, oh, that's a good, straight away I got that right. Sometimes it takes me a few times, but I wanted the Peter Rabbit on a tilt anyway, coming down. I didn't want him just vertical. Let's bring his ear a little forward. There. That's supposed to be here. So guys, there's our little Peter Rabbit on the spring Easter wreath. Don't you think he just looks so pretty there with all the pastel colours? I think that's really, really pretty. Let's see some of the eggs here. And you'll start to play with it once you finish, because you'll have a look, you'll stand back from it and have a look, and you'll think to yourself, something isn't right there, that needs moving a little bit there. It's like, I've got that flower there, but the head's not showing. So that's better. And then you might just think, oh, I just need a little bit, another Easter egg pick placing in, or, you know, whatever it may be. Because I do have some bigger eggs. I did get them out. Some bigger ones. So if I wanted a bigger, this is probably like a real life size one, I could place here. Let's see. I've got one where I've got it on. So I'll take that off. Pink. Let's see if I've got another pink. I've got a box here that I don't really want to. Well, it's been opened. But this. Oh yeah, I am. Pink. I've even got some like that, like with the like hundreds and thousands on, like so. Crikey, there's a lot in there. So what I may do, in the odd place where I feel I want yellow, I don't want to clash with it. I think one could go there. Just gonna, again, and that's another thing, different size eggs as well. That's if you're doing something like this with lots of Easter eggs in. Use different sized eggs that give you that different contrast against the smaller ones, you know, and different size. just, I'm going to place one here. And this is what I say, why I'm a very true believer of standing away from my work, because that's what you'll see, and that's what also the customer will see, because they will walk in and they'll walk towards it, and that's one of the first things that they will spot. If there is any, they'll see gaps or something doesn't look right. Just fill in that little bit there with a bigger egg. I'm going to place this one here. Got a pink one left. These have got holes in at the bottom. They're already made to just place in a pick. Place it there. There. So I've just placed in some bigger ones here, 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 and there. So just to cover up a few little gaps that I noticed and it needed to be covered. So where were we? Yes, so if you're going to be placing lots of wispy bits, bear in mind you're going to use quite a lot of them, so to fill in the gaps, unless you're looking for a style that you are, you know, don't mind seeing the wreath or anything. If you don't want that, but you don't want to use as many wispy bits, again, use bigger leaf. You could use your eucalyptus, willow, let me think, I'm trying to think. Again, magnolia, you could use those, hydrangea leaves as well. I'm trying to think, guys. Fern, bigger fern as well, if you want the more wider fern instead of little, and things that are much more solid as well, and they're not airy and that you can't see through them. So you could use anything like that, but again, have fun with it, guys, because doesn't that look pretty? That would look lovely in a little girl's room as well, really would. But again, if you enjoyed that, give it, and you've got something like this, give it a go, guys, and have fun with it, and you know, try and challenge yourself to do one where there's lots of Easter eggs, and not as much floral. I know I've put in a bit of the spring floral, like the hyacinth, some daisies, and some yellow lavender. I've not put a lot of the lavender in, and obviously on the picks they had a bit of floral as well. So that's really all I've placed in the floral. The rest foliage, because hence the reason I knew it was going to be an airy wreath, so I needed a lot of foliage in the backdrop for the picks to sit on top, you know, so it will fill it in. So if you want as well, you know, use when you do your first, like I did with the ruscus, use a bush, you know, like a big stem like that, or a eucalyptus stem where, you know, you've got lots of sprigs coming off, and put them quite close together so it gives you a backdrop, and it also brings some in slightly to this area, so they're covering the top of that as well. So you can always cover it, you know, with smaller leaves, but it may make, you know, you may need to use a little bit more. So please subscribe, share and like, guys, and I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that you give it a go, and it gives you that sort of inspiration to get ready for Easter. So I know it's not far away, and I know it's April when it's Easter here. So but again, we have to be one season ahead, or maybe two. So I am still doing spring. I haven't, I haven't just started doing them, but I just wanted to do an Easter one today. So again, press that notification button, guys. Share it with your friends and family and your colleagues, your neighbours, and send us a comment or send us some pictures of some of your Easter arrangements that you've done, whether it's a wreath, whether it's a table arrangement or something for your garden, a hanging basket or anything like that. And I would love to see them. Again, as I always say, you may inspire me to do something what I've not thought of. So I won't be here tomorrow. It's Friday and it's my busiest day. So have a wonderful weekend, guys, and I will see you all next week. Hopefully then properly 100% clear of the flu. So for anybody else who's got it, get well soon. Look after yourself, guys. Good health. God bless. And thank you for all your comments and your support. Please keep them coming, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Right. Here we go. Look at Peter Rabbit, isn't he? Look at his little cute eyes. Let's do some of that out of his eyes. I can't get that bit. There we go. There he is. And with his little, holding his carrot and his little dicky bow and his waistcoat with his jacket. Doesn't he look pretty? And then there's the bigger eggs. And the ones that I placed in around the sides, if I can find one. Oh yeah, here, the smaller ones. But then obviously you've got these velvet ones, what came on the pics with the berries as well. Here's the lavender in yellow, our ruscus, our lovely pink daisies, our hyacinth. Can you see the rubber texture? It's really weird. Excuse my filthy hands. Really weird, but it's pretty. And then we have our lovely four-headed daffodils, like they're in a little cluster. We have our grass, and this is our wispy things that you tend to get when you buy the picks. You can also buy them singular. And there is our maidenhead fern or maidenhair fern, our freebies of our eucalyptus. Again, I didn't order those. Our swordgrass. What else, guys? Can't remember. We did put quite a bit. Oh, and our dusted twined fern as well. So if there's anything I've forgotten, I apologise. So have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. So all the best. Oh, it looks very busy in the background. All the best, and I will see you next week, guys. So take care of yourselves and good health. Bye for now. Bye-bye.